Well, Philips Carbon's numbers are up for you on the screen. They're looking quite good, actually. The top line, in fact, has come at around 950 crores odd. So that's pretty good going. That compares with around 619 crores. So let's pull that up for you. The net profit as well has come at around 110 crores. That compares with around 56 crores odd. So pretty good going. And that's why both those two stocks, that stock, in fact, has moved to the high point of the day. The street giving a thumbs up. But just a quick word then on, on a couple of these other stocks. The EBITDA number as well has come in higher by around 84%. So a surge on the top line. EBITDA number as well has come in at around 84%. And net profit as well has come in at around, with the growth of around 90% odd. So from the top to the bottom, in fact, things are looking very, very good. And margins improving by 300 basis points odd. Just a quick word on HEG and Graphite India. Both of them have come off the high point of the day. As I said earlier, this price increase from Tokai, that's a Japanese, graphite maker, had come in the first week of January. So, that was already announced earlier. The street was coming to terms with it. And that's why both these two stocks have come out from the high point of the day, because they said, yes, a big Japanese maker or the third largest company in the world has gone ahead and increased prices. But will HEG and Graphite India, can they go ahead and do it? Now, only time will tell as of now. So both those two stocks have come off the high point of the day. Moving on, though, to a CNBC TV 18 exclusive then. With just a few months remaining before the NDA government's term formally comes to an end, the government will announce the interim budget on the 1st of February 2019. Ahead of this, Lata Venkatesh caught up with Montek Singh Ahluwalia, former Deputy Chairman of the Planning Commission, and began by asking him about the legal limits on the vote of account. Here's an excerpt.
The tradition has been that when a government is heading into an election, the budget is essentially an interim budget, so you don't need to discuss very much questions of feasibility and so on. Now, since the election will take place later, probably the election notification will not have been issued. I don't know legally whether you can present a budget and then simply go into the election. The problem is that if you do present a budget, then that budget will have to go through very detailed examination about feasibility. Is what is being promised consistent with the fiscal deficit? All that kind of stuff. I have no idea what the government intends to do on that.
But in the 2014 vote on account and interim budget, the then Finance Minister, Mr. Chidambaram, had said that he proposes certain tax tweaks, but caveated it by saying if the same government...
Well, yes, that is actually... Yeah, I remember in 2009, when we were just getting out of the crisis, I had recommended then to the Finance Minister, Mr. Pranab Mukherjee, that, we can't go into a budget in the middle of a global crisis and not let anybody know what you're going to do. So even though the budget itself simply repeated the previous year's numbers, Mr. Mukherjee said that at the time of the regular budget, it was his intention to increase plan expenditure by a certain amount. Now, that was not part of the budget proposal, but it was kind of a declaration of intent. So I suppose governments could always do that. But, to feed that into the actual budget, I mean, it means one of two things. If you're going to increase expenditure on certain things, are you going to reduce it on something else? Is the budget deficit going to increase? Or are you going to cover it through new revenues? And how credible are each of these things? This will become an issue for debate and discussion.
Okay. Well, Mr. Ahluwalia, in that case, now the other thing that is doing the rounds, and pre-budget and pre-poll is a free period for speculation. The other speculation is that the income tax limit will be brought up to 5 lakh rupees. Can that be introduced in the budget? Now, let's remember, on February 1st, the government has full majority. And it can even, after the recess, do a full discussion and pass the budget by March 29th, like it did last year. So can it introduce a tax measure like this?
Well, again, legally and in terms of parliamentary tradition, I can't pronounce on that. It's one thing to say I'm going to do it. It's quite another to put it in the budget. Because if you put it in the budget, then you must be making some assumption about what's it going to do to tax revenue. So this is really, you're asking me to speculate on what the government will do. And although this is a free season for speculation, I don't think I want to add to that speculation. This is really something I don't know about.
Given that you have seen many pre-election budgets, is it possible for a government to announce such a major tax reform or a tax tweak?
When you say a tax tweak, you mean you're going to actually put it in the finance bill as an amendment, or simply announce that we are going to do it?
No, I meant put it in the finance bill as an announcement and get it passed.
Okay. Well, I think that will have to be judged in terms of legal feasibility and parliamentary appropriateness, and I'm just not competent to pronounce on that.
Okay.
But if it's legally possible, sure, a government can always announce what it intends to do, and then bear the consequences that how you're going to fill the hole that is created.
So you're kind of leaving a fait accompli for the next government, isn't it?
Not really, because, if the passing of the budget is delayed, it is messy. You are constraining the next government. That is certainly true.
Okay.
And that's why most people thought that you wouldn't do that.
Always good to listen in to Montek Singh Ahluwalia. More on that later on. For now, it's a break with a note, dear viewers, that with the new rules for D2H and cable coming into effect from 1st of February, you now have to choose the channels that you wish to watch by the 31st of January. To keep watching India's #1 English business news channel, CNBC TV 18, call your cable or D2H operator and ask for the Colors Family Pack, inclusive of 24 channels, available for 35 rupees per month, or subscribe to the channel for 4 rupees per month. The channels are also available on an a la carte basis. To keep watching the leader in global markets and business news, CNBC TV 18 Prime HD, call your cable or D2H operator and ask for the Colors Family HD Pack. Includes 25 channels available for 50 rupees per month, or subscribe to the channel for 1 rupee per month.
All right, keep an eye out on the markets. Actually, we moved to the high point of the day. So I think before we slip into that short break, Dr. Reddy's, that stock has moved high in the last few minutes. So keep an eye out on that one. And even ICICI Bank, both those two stocks, they have moved higher, and that's where the Nifty has moved back to the day start. But we'll slip into a short break. Up next, Mindtree will report its numbers. We'll tell you what to expect. Stay with us.